Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm a former client advisor for Louis Vuitton, and today I have a special guest, Christy, who is also a former client advisor, very recent, from Louis Vuitton. Yay.
Mhm.
Welcome, Christy. And Christy has
Hi.
been in my ear telling me the things that happen at Vuitton, price increases, drops, and also sales goal increases. So we've
Mhm.
been in contact for like a few years now. I want to say like over 3 years or so. And she just recently left Vuitton. Yay!
Ah.
So Christy's going to share with us today her top 5 bags to not buy. I'm also really excited to see her start her own channel soon.
Yes.
Because she's a fashion girly, just like me and the rest of us.
Yes,
So I'm
absolutely.
excited. How does it feel to not be an employee anymore?
Um, I mean, it was almost 4 years of my life, so it was difficult to let go of it because it's what I knew, and it's like I was just so used to what I did on it. I was used to it. You get used to certain things.
Yep.
Once I let go and I look back, I was like, I'm glad I'm out of it. It's like it there are parts of it there are a lot of the clients that I loved and I missed and I cried about, but getting out of that environment, like my headspace is way more clear.
Now, I've said this in my videos, but isn't it like when you're out of it, it's like getting out of a toxic relationship with a
Oh yeah.
boyfriend, and you're
Mhm.
like, "What? I can't believe I tolerated all that BS." And like, what was I thinking? And it's
Yeah.
because it's manipulative. Like, if you do
It
this,
is,
we'll reward you. We'll love you
it
more.
is and a lot of it is like unfeasible. So there's that too.
Yes. So, well, congratulations on getting out of your
Thank
toxic
you.
relationship.
The
So
toxic relationship of Vuitton, yes.
bye-bye, Victon. I was so happy when I left. Like, okay, like you, I was shocked, but then it was like relief too of like, wait a minute. I look back of like all the red flags had seen, but I ignored.
Mhm. Yeah,
Um,
because you don't want to believe something that you've always loved, something that was always so beautiful, and that people dream, not to borrow from the Devil Wears Prada, but there's a lot of people who would be lucky to work there, and it's something that people want to obtain. It's a goal, but once you get in it, you're like, it's not what I thought I would be. So
oh, absolutely. Because I had that feeling going in too, and they really talk it up like you're so special that we chose you.
yeah.
And it was a brand that my mom had loved and like aspired to. And then once you get in, you realize like it's just a brand name like all the other stores in this mall.
It's truly is, yeah.
So it's like a little wake up, almost heartbreaking, like, oh, oh, this is what it's really like.
You're like, oh
Ew.
no, maybe it'll get better. Maybe I am not giving it a chance. Maybe I'm crazy, but nope.
Nope, nope. Well, let's get into the content here. You have a list of 5 bags, and I think we have a few more. I would say maybe there's like all the bags I wouldn't buy, but I want you to share with the audience today your top 5 bags
Top
that are
five.
not worth it.
So I'm probably going to be ruffling some feathers here. There are some people who are probably going to come at me, but this is how I feel. It's a personal opinion. So I'm going to get at it. Starting in hot at number one, the high rise bum bag. Um, that bag was replacing the other bum bag that they had because that one was having issues with the zipper and the flap and the way the canvas set over it. And so they recreated it and they came out with one that was 1850, had one of those utility straps, back zipper, pleating, and then one of those little luggage tags. The problem is a lot of people want it because it's trending, like it's the belt bag, the bum bag, they're really big. However, that bag came in so much for repairs, and I think it's only been out for a year. And so many people lose that luggage tag. And I would sometimes take it out of the drawer to show it to people, and the leather that was on the utility strap would come off, and it was not even one that had been sold yet. It was still like part of stock. So if you want a bum bag and that's like your MO and you want to look cute, go to Lululemon, buy one for 30, $40, save your coin. Do not spend $2,000 on something that's so trendy that in a year you're going to look back and be like, did I just spend $2,000 on something that's not relevant? Like, think about your child. If you want to pass down something to your kid, in 15 years, is that going to be something they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I got this. Like, what is this, Mom? What were you thinking, actually? So.
Yeah, you make a good point too, because a lot of Vuitton, it used to be heritage and traditional items that you would pass along, but then they started chasing trends like a bum bag, and
Mm-hmm.
and then like, oh, let's not even start on quality. You expect something really great quality for $1,800. Like, I want a bar of gold in there.
Mm-hmm.
I want a
It,
leprechaun and a magic unicorn.
it's not happening. It's not happening. But yeah, so that is a big one that I just would stay away from. Like I said, save your coin, go to Lululemon, buy one of those, and that way if you're out $30, $40, you're not going to be crying, like it's fine.
Bag number two.
Is Neo Noe. The Neo Noe in canvas. If you want to get a Neo Noe in leather, that's fine. Specifically in canvas, because again, I would see these bags come back and there was always cracking on the edges
Hmm.
and at the top. And like, even if somebody's had it for a year, 2 years, that bag came in all the time, always cracking. They stopped making the Damier Ebene version of that bag and they just make it now in monogram canvas. So that you can only get it in that pattern. But if you want to get like the bicolor one or like the regular leather one, knock yourself out, because I would tell my clients if they came in and like we were offering them, they call it a DEFI exchange. We never said that to the clients, but that is in-house terminology.
Yeah.
I would be like, once bitten, twice shy. You don't have to get this exact bag. You don't even have to get a bag. You can just, as long as it's equal or greater value. I would say, but if this is a silhouette you like, I would just invest and get the leather. So Neo Noe and canvas, I would not suggest, because that bag is not going to treat you well. It is not going to be something that you like, and in the long run, you're going to be very upset that you bought it.
All right, so to add on your Neo Noe, I
Mm-hmm.
completely agree with you. But I did have a video like 3 years ago where the Neo Noe was actually on my list of the top five first bags you should buy from Vuitton.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason it was on that list was because of the shape. So if you're
Shape and
still
price
gonna
point.
price point, yeah, it was
Yeah.
1,500 at the time. I don't know what it is now.
I
21.
want to say it's the same price as a Neverfull. I think it's either 2030 or 21.
Ooh, so it went up a lot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
These are one of the cheaper bags.
Mm-hmm.
But I included it on the list for the shape, which now you can buy the Noe or the Petite Noe, and it
Mm-hmm.
um, has like leather reinforcements where the Neo Noe does not.
Yeah, the No Way BB I think is better because the way that's made, I've never seen any issues. It's just the Neo No Way and Canvas that has just made everybody like,
For sure. And I've seen what you've mentioned where it falls apart, because I have seen
hmm
that bag at the consignment store, and it's where the little drawstring is. There's
yeah.
no binding, there's no leather reinforcement, so
Mm-mm.
it will get rubbed. And here's the thing, when people bring it into Vuitton because they're like, oh, I'm so sad I spent this much, this shouldn't happen. At Vuitton, we're just like, oh, normal wear and tear. Like, there's
Yeah,
like,
unless it's in a certain um, time frame, which
yeah,
always changes. So
yeah.
you can't tell a client because the repair center is the one that deems what the time frame for the bag is. So you don't know. It's like a big secret. So who knows?
Just don't buy it. You
Right.
can always blame us, the sales associate,
And
about
they love
the
to.
bag.
We're the punching bags. I don't know. I didn't know I signed up to be a punching bag, but apparently I did.
Yes, because also too, from our perspective, like, I don't know if you drag the bag on the floor.
Not only
Some people
that,
do.
another thing is a lot of clients, they may have only one designer bag, that one Vuitton bag, and you shouldn't wear anything every day. And if you are wearing that every day and you're traveling with it and sticking paperwork in it and like doing whatever, like this, it's like a car. If you throw a rock at a Mercedes and a rock at a Kia, they're going to do the same thing, you know?
Get the same.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. So your next bag.
So my next bag is going to be, and I actually have an example because I have one, but I don't suggest it. This was just a collector's piece. Is going to be a FELICIE. This is my FELICIE, and a lot of people, because this isn't a bag. It's thin on the side. It's this, and it comes with little inserts. So people like to buy it because they feel like with with the Neverfull that they're getting something free. So this is actually a wallet on a chain. It's just small inside, little inserts. This just happens to be Christmas animation Vivian. That's the only reason I got it, because she's cute.
So cute.
But do I carry it as a bag every day? And also this chain strap, there's a lot of issues with these chains. Like, I feel like Vuitton should have made it with like one of the vachetta leather straps, but the chain I feel like is a cheap little cop out. This is not a bag. It is literally in the not even the bag category. So people come in again because they want to buy something from Louis and they don't want to spend a ton of money. They just want something that says Louis Vuitton. They're like, oh, I don't carry that much, or oh, I'm just using it as a going out bag. Whatever. Then they come back because these little snaps on it right here, they're overstuffing their bags and they are putting in the inserts. Like, I don't even use this insert inside my FELICIE. I put it in my purse because this just carries other stuff. And I'm not just carrying this around. This is, like I said, just a little fun Christmas bag. I would not recommend you buying that because I know people are just going to buy it for their bag. If you're buying it as a traveling person to put as a wallet, if you're using this as an actual wallet and then you're a business person, you're taking it out of your like on the go or Neverfull, and you're using it because you don't want to carry a big bag out to dinner because you're going to a business trip, okay. But to have that as your daily workhorse bag, that you are putting your lipstick, your keys, your wallet, and all your hand sanitizer, your brush, that's not all going to fit in this little guy. That's not what this is made for. This is not a daily bag, people. This is literally a wallet on a chain. So use it for what it's meant for, a wallet on a chain, and don't carry this as your daily bag, because you're just kidding yourself if you think that you can fit your life into this, because you can't. Okay, you can't. That's is not happening. So
It's a wallet on a chain. And I've seen people stuff wallets and try to put a chain and make it into a bag. So
that,
it's
yeah,
easy.
all the DIY stuff that people did during the pandemic because they were so bored, they thought they put a chain on their toiletry bag, and then now that is the thing. Louis Vuitton's like, oh, I think I'll put a chain on a toiletry bag and just charge you more for it. So
Yes. And listen, guys, it's not meant to carry the weight of a tote bag just because you're
mm-mm.
trying to make it that, or it's not meant to be a bag just because you're trying to make a wallet a bag.
Exactly.
I actually do like the FELICIE. Like I like the Vernis versions as like, going to dinner. But
Vernis, everything is just Vernis, anything. I am on board with Vernis, like Justice for Vernis, anything Marc Jacobs, just bring it back. Bring it
yeah,
back.
yes, yes. But also Vernis is not an everyday.
It's
It's
not,
like,
because they do come with the little wipe cloths in them because it is delicate. The way they treat the leather, it is not a daily bag. It is, again, a fun bag. She is also on the dressier side because she is patent. So it is something you wear with an outfit, a dinner piece. It is not your daily bag. It is meant to be fun and elevated and elegant, not something you wear every day.
yes, because it will fingerprint and peel. Is
That's
that?
true.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I don't like the chain on the FELICIE either.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually I just don't like that bag anymore. I remember liking it when I worked there, but a
There
lot of
is
people
a
wanted the leather
website
strap.
called Dress Up Your Purse, and
Mhm.
I would send all my clients to it because
Ah,
Louis Vuitton does not sell black leather straps by
strap. Mhm.
themselves unless it's a utility strap, and they're like $1,000. And come on, but I would tell people because they would have straps that look just like Louis straps, and if you want to just attach a little, but no one's gonna know. You spend $30 instead of $400. So there you
Yes.
go.
They do sell the Vachetta leather straps for $400 at Louis Vuitton, but you can
Hmm.
also find it on Amazon or Etsy. Etsy is another good one where you can
Etsy, and
just
like I
the
said, dress
leather.
up your purse. Like if they find us and they hear us plugging it
Yeah,
in,
there
give
you
us a
go.
code,
Shout out to
people.
Melody.
Give us a code.
So next on your list, I think for the same reason as the Felicie, you have the Coussin. Did I get
COUSSIN.
it correctly?
Now, also, I'm not a fan of utility straps on bags. For almost $5,000, you're telling me there's not a better strap you can
I
put on that
agree with
bag.
you on that. A luxury bag should not have a guitar strap.
Ex- Period.
It cheapens
That
it.
bag sold so much, but again, lamb leather is not a daily bag. People buy that bag to wear it every day because they're like, I spent $5,000 on this. No,
Exactly.
this is for somebody who they have so many freaking bags in their collection. They're going to carry this like, twice a year because whatever. I think that if you're going to carry as a daily bag, it's lamb leather. Lamb leather is supple. If you have long nails or anything, then it's not gonna fly. It's not going to be that bag. People overstuff it. It looks pregnant, and I've seen it to where the leather literally starts rippling and
Mhm.
it looks like cracking on the side, but it's not cracking because it's lambskin, but it's just you can just see it's almost like it's aging quickly. It's like if the bag needs Botox, it needs bag tox. But this is it just looks crazy. So I just don't understand why people stuff everything, because again, a lot of clients they travel a lot for work or play, and I need a bag that does everything, dress up, dress down, and they're like, oh wow, it has a chain, but it makes it heavy. It's a heavier bag, and I have never seen anything good come of that bag. So overpriced utility strap, I think cheapens it, and it doesn't look good because people abuse it. Just saying, it just never looks nice.
You have a good point there too. And also that bag has compartments.
Mm-hmm.
You have to put things in, like just put one thing in the bag already looks pregnant.
It does. On the shelf it looks nice because it's just on a shelf and it has nothing in it. But once you start using it and putting all your stuff, because you see this is a bigger bag, I can chuck more in it. No, it's gonna look bad.
You bring up a good point that people feel like because they spent so much on a bag, they want to get the most use out of it,
Mhm.
whether it's a lambskin or a canvas. So this has a lot to do with, I mean, consumer mindset. Because if you are putting that much in a bag, there's no bag that's meant to be worn every single day.
No, are you gonna wear your shoes every day? The same shoes every
Exactly.
day?
This is why there's different brands, different price points. Like your expensive Louis doesn't have to be your everyday because it
Right.
will get beat to death.
It sure will.
And it doesn't mean because you paid more that that thing is now titanium and bulletproof and has a gold aura around it that I'm never going to be damaged.
It's definitely not. And people think that, I can't tell you how the number of times I heard, but this is Louis Vuitton. It shouldn't do well. The thing is like, I hate to say it, but most of the clients would not be transparent with us about how they cared for their piece.
Exactly.
And I could just tell, and I would always ask, can I see your piece? Do you mind if I look at it, give it a look? And I could just tell
Yeah.
it correctly. So,
Also, it's not advertised anywhere that this is going to last you forever. It's not advertised that this is like the highest quality canvas or leather. And in fact, I do have a video coming up where I compare my friend's Vuitton. She bought it, I think, 2022, her Speedy compared to my mom's vintage Speedy. And there's definitely a difference in thickness.
hmm
So there is that old story that these are the highest quality travel bags, but that is an old story because the
it's
things that you get now are not the same.
us to tell our clients
Yeah,
because we used to do it was a part of a survey question. We'd have to do storytelling.
exactly. We tell you the story. It was trained to us. We're going to tell you this, but it's the old story. It's
Mhm.
not today's bags manufactured this way story.
Right. It's back maybe when Louis Vuitton came up and he was making it with his son, George and then Gaston, the grandson, maybe when they were all doing it and they had a vision I don't think if they were, I mean, if they were could come back today and see what it was now, how they would feel about the brand. Who
Oh, they
knows?
would like, no, this is not right. Like,
Right.
so
No, no.
these, just throw it in, these TikToks that are coming out right now about the factories making these bags. Okay, that's not, may not be necessarily true that these factories are making Vuitton, but also, I mean, you and I have seen the Vuitton factories. They're not one artisan, one crafted at a time. They're still on an assembly line.
They are. I've been to the one in Texas. It's called Rochambeau Ranch. I thought it was a cool experience because you have to select a client, or at least I one during induction. And you go to the factory, or they call it Rochambeau. Ours was opened, I want to say 2019, 2020. It's a
Mhm.
nice experience. It's a ranch they bought in the middle of nowhere, south of Fort Worth, in a place called El Dorado. It was like an hour and a half from my store. But let me tell you, it was pretty cool to see. But I will say, any idea that you have of how these bags are crafted is definitely not what I saw. Just gonna leave that.
I agree. It was a cool experience because I went to the one in near Los Angeles. It's not in Los Angeles, it's near. Another thing that people should know is when, okay, this is what I can't remember where I heard this. I think somebody actually wrote it into me in a comment.
Hmm.
And I think our store manager actually had mentioned this too, is that that place in Texas where it was built, they wanted to hire, I think they told us this on my factory tour, they wanted to hire people with zero sewing experience so that they didn't have any experience to bring in
Yeah,
and they can train them exactly how they wanted to make the Vuitton bag.
exactly. Too
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, no
Because if
formal
they had prior
experience.
experience, such as the one in near Los Angeles, there used to be a very big garment industry. If they sewed it their way, it wasn't the Vuitton way. So they preferred people that they could start from scratch,
Hmm.
pay $15 an hour, and we're going to train you how to make these bags.
Oh yeah, but they're not going to sell them for anywhere near that price. But yeah, I they make the graceful, the carry-all, the live, the loop hobo, the neverfull, the neonaway canvas. I want to say the Felicie. No, no,
Probably a
no.
lot more.
Pochette Matisse. I'm trying to think of all the SKUs because I'm remembering seeing the wall,
Yeah.
like everything fell. But yeah, those are the ones they make. So people are like, "Oh, are all the bags being made in Texas?" No, it's just literally like 9 to 12 SKUs that are
Hmm.
being made in Texas. And the only way, if you get a Neverfull and it's not from Texas, is that you're literally in Europe, because they're not gonna take one of the Texas Neverfulls and send it to Europe. I mean, let's be real. It
Yes.
You're gonna get a differently made Neverfull. So there's that.
And the only bags now that are like guaranteed custom made, made in France by one artisan, if you have enough money to order one of those crocodile exotic bags.
Right, like now yours, or anything that's like custom made, or like if you're there, but that doesn't mean it's different. There's still factories over there. They're trained the same way they're trained
Yeah.
over here. It doesn't matter if, like if you have a talent and I put you somewhere else, I mean, you're still gonna operate the same. I could ping pong you around the world and your talent is your talent. So people like, oh, the people in France so differently. I don't know if they do. They probably same mentality as over here, that the way they're trained, they're just trained artisans. They're actually in Texas, they are French artisans. There's like a whole little town of French people who live south of Fort Worth, which is very odd because Fort Worth is so different from Dallas. So anyways, but there is a little French community, and I just saw they were very tedious, but it's like I said, it's not what anyone thinks of how these pieces are. But it was a cool experience, I will say.
Awesome. Okay, so the last, wait. Oh, wait, there is one more on your list.
There's one more, and we share this view, I think.
Yes.
It is going to be the Capucines.
The
So
Capucines.
I will. So anytime we saw a man walk into the store, and he, obviously he's walking and he's like, I want to get my wife a bag. I don't know what to get her. What all of us, myself included, what is the bag we always suggested to him?
Now, let me add here, we had to. That was company initiative, like sell a Capucines. The goal today is to sell a Capucines, and we all knew that was the ugliest bag for the price point. Like,
Even like that, like there's so many bags out there that already look like that are less.
mm-hmm,
The
and
are made,
prettier.
they are not going to hold up like an Hermes bag. Anytime, first of all, and I'm not saying people should do this or would do this, and I know that Louis Vuitton bags do have an appreciation. Like they're one of the top three. Like Louis Vuitton, Chanel, and Hermes are the only bags that retain their value over time because they don't have outlets or sales or whatever. Um, but I'll tell you, if you got a Capucine and you used it for a couple years and you decided, you know what, I'm going to go sell this to whomever, a fashion file or, whatever consignment stores in your area that does luxury, you will notice that that bag does not retain its value.
Nobody
That
wants it.
it, it just doesn't. Like I've seen, and the prices have gone up. Like when I started the BB, um, not even just the BB, the mini was like four something. They are now almost seven. And
Wow.
the mini holds not even a hope, not even a dream. The mini East West will you can put a cell phone in it, but those they don't have all the colors because it's still an up and coming one. But I'll tell you, I've seen people carry them that they've had them for a while and they just don't wear well. They I'll tell you, if they see you walking in the store and they think they can sell you a Capucine, they will because they get higher commission on it.
Hmm.
And uh, there was once in a blue moon that somebody came in actually asking for a Capucine, and we were just lucky that that was a person that we were helping. But I'll tell you, that's not a bag that many people came in just wanting. It was something you would have to kind of finesse
Yeah.
and romance and really try to get the clients to get, because then those bags, they had them in all a slew of leather, the Torion, then you can get it in ostrich, you can get it in, a python, you could get it in, you could get it in lizard, all different kinds of skins, all different types of leathers. But they really wanted us to sell it because it was considered part of Les Extraordinaire, which is high end, which we did have a high end goal every month. So we had to meet it as part of our sales goals. So we were really trying to, anytime there was a birthday, anniversary, any kind of monumental thing that would happen in your life, a promotion, we would sit that bag in front of you. I mean, and we would be like, please let them buy the cap.
Yes, I remember that. It's like if someone has bought like three monograms by now, suggest to them a Capucines.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem with that bag is Louis Vuitton was trying to make that it bag, and it just wasn't. Like it had a bad shape. You can't wear it on your arm. You can't wear it crossbody. It ends up ugly anytime you carry, any way you carry it, there's no way to carry the bag.
It's not, and it was one of the Capucine and the Twist were the first bags that Nikolai Gasquier made when he came
Mhm.
on. So those were kind of his imprint and vision of starting his his way into the company. So, the people's like, oh, the Capucine just came out. Like, no, this has been out for a good, 11 years now.
Yeah,
So
they're trying to put CPR on it.
I think when they first launched that bag, it was not a high end bag that they were pushing, but they put it into the category to have it to where we want to sell it because there was an incentive there.
Mhm.
So
I compare that bag to like, okay, Louis Vuitton is trying to make that bag like how Givenchy has their Antigona. It's a very like beautiful structured bag, and that says Givenchy. So if you compare that to like Louis and their Capucines, Givenchy wins every time.
I think that Givenchy Antigona is like way prettier, and I also think it's cool and it's classic. Like it meets both worlds. So you're not like, because the Capucine to me, like, now I like to dress up a lot, so it's different for me because I if I I wear dresses a lot and skirts, but not everyone does. And the trend now is like elevated loungewear. And that doesn't really, like, if you're wearing Lululemon in a capucine, that may not go, you know?
I can't
So
think of one thing that bag goes with,
it,
honestly. Whether
I
it's
think
leather or beaded or applique.
it's left a bad taste in my mouth because I was like told you've got, and then every
Mhm.
new drop they have, there's going to be a Neverfull and a capucine, 1,000,000% guaranteed. Like, if there's a new launch, they're going to have a Neverfull and a capucine because Neverfulls, they can always know that there's those people out there who always want a Neverfull, and they're going to try to put a capucine in that collection to see if, hey, if this client didn't buy a capucine this go round, there should be one round that, you'll get your client to buy a capucine. It's just the game that we had to play.
Now, just thinking about it, I don't believe that my audience, I don't think we need to convince them not to buy it. Because there's
I,
nobody
it,
knocking on the door saying, "What do you think of the Capucine?" And it was the same way in the store. I really had to talk to the customer, call them, finesse them, come in, make an appointment, look at this bag before they would actually commit to buying the bag. It was like,
yeah, yeah,
please buy this Capucine.
because it's almost the end of the month and I need to sell one more high end thing to make my LE goal, or I haven't sold any LE this month. It was very like, almost, now thinking about it, it's triggering. If I see someone with a cat, I'm not
Yeah,
excited to, because one, I know that bag is going to look rough and tough, like it just got in a fight, and like the hood or something in no time.
that's a great list. The only thing, I mean, well, not the only thing. I think my audience knows my personal opinion that not many of the bags are worth it anymore. Maybe some of the classics, like I would say, if you really want a Vuitton for having a Vuitton, I would go with the Speedy or go with the Neverfull because those are like tried and true. They're not going to have those functional issues of all the bags that you spoke of.
Never really saw a Speedy come in for repairs, and that's the first bag they ever made. The only thing I did the Neverfull come in repairs was because the strings on the side, people would just like, they would be walking and a door might
Oh,
split.
yes, user
But
error.
like, I mean, that was just an an error that people would make. Or I've seen people's dogs chew up their bags. They thought they could bring it in. I'm like, oh no.
Ooh, your dog chewed your bag.
I'm
Yes.
lucky dogs have not yet chewed my bag.
Now, the only one I would add, and maybe for different reasons, maybe I just got really tired of the Pochette Matisse, but like when I worked there, to me and to the other associates, that bag was already old. And then it was like because of social media, everybody came in and wanted this bag, and people are gonna not like me to say this, but it looked like a mailman bag. It's square.
Yeah.
And you talked about the S lock, the lock that you have to find the little hole to squeeze it into to close your bag. To me, it didn't make much sense, and I always try to tell the consumer, "Oh, that bag from 2011, don't you want one from our new collection?"
Yeah.
Oh, plus the canvas version of it would peel around the edges or
They
crack where the flap open and close.
That is true. We did see a lot of that, and I think they redid them. I made it to where they nipped that problem in the bud. But they also said that about the Neo No Way and Canvas, that they were going to send back the badge and remake them and reglaze them. And let me tell you, whatever they did just didn't work because that bag still has issues. So I don't care if you buy where you buy that bag, it's going to not be good. And the thing is, this is, if you buy that bag secondhand and you take it to Louis, to which they will fix any Louis Vuitton, even if you didn't buy it there, as long as it's authentic. But if you don't have a purchase history and they have no way to see when it was purchased, then you're pretty much stuck with it. So
Yep. And also, I mean, I think that just kind of speaks to like if you knew there was a Marc Jacobs bag that didn't perform well and read the reviews, but you bought it anyways. You
You
know,
thought you
people will do that because it's a Louis Vuitton and they want it,
right.
knowing that this bag has known problems. So it's, I don't know what I have to say about that. That's just 2 cents I have to throw in that you can't buy a bag just because you're going for the brand name.
I would tell clients, I'm just going to be honest with you, she has had issues. And people, and like, if you like this silhouette, what do you like about this bag? And then I'd be like, let me show you other bags. Because especially if they were a first time purchaser, I would not, I would be like, listen, if this is your first bag and this is like your dream, like, somebody graduated college, they'd be like, oh, I'm going to reward myself. I'm going to buy a Louis Vuitton bag because I've earned it. And I made this like if I graduated with like a high GPA and this, I'm going to go reward myself. And that's fine. Like it's, some people, I think, us working there, we saw it every day. So we took it for granted kind of, when the clients came in. But honestly, they did a study showing most people don't get their first Louis bag till they're in their 50s.
Hmm. You're
But
absolutely right.
they would come in and they would want to buy. And I would be like, look, if you're rewarding yourself and you're happy, I don't want you to buy this bag and then coming back in about, less than a year and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, this bag, I can't believe I did this. So I'd be like, if you like it, get the leather version. And if you want some color on it, you can get a bandeau and I will gladly make this thing look really pretty, wrap it around there, give you a pop of color, but yeah, sometimes people, they would be like, I'm sorry, I hear you, but I'm still going to buy this bag.
They
I'm
want
like,
what they want. Yeah, and
okay.
that's okay. That's okay. Just like don't say I didn't warn you.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they can't come and find me anymore. But I mean, for a good almost 4 years, I was like a face that people just knew because I was there. Like I opened that store, so I was there for a hot minute. But I mean, nobody can come in anymore and try to find me and be like, that girl over there. I'm like, no, I'm not there anymore.
Nope, nope.
Go cry to.
Well, this was awesome. Thank you for your input. I'm looking forward to like some tea spills from a
Yeah.
also fellow client advisor. I've had people write me in saying like your videos are therapy because people don't understand what it is. It's a retail job and it's
Hmm.
like retail in hell on steroids.
Yeah.
So
It's something. It's a lot of work. It's not for the faint of heart. People think they're like, oh, I'm good at selling and I love Louis Vuitton. I'm going to work there. I tell them, well, proceed with caution because there's a lot of work you have to put into it. There's a lot of expectations and there's always something that they want you to reach out to your clients about. And these clients, I swear, I would get texts from clients when I would text them and they would say stop because they thought I was a robot.
oh boy, yes, we could go on and on. Yes.
Because,
Okay, but we'll stop here and we'll table it for future videos.
yeah.
Thank you for joining. Let me know in the comments if you have questions for Christy. Christy, well, we're going to see her doing her own YouTube channel very soon. So don't forget
Yeah.
to like and subscribe. See you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye.